Hi teacher, this is our presentation about the learning activity number 2 about the second term. This is the group number 5. The members are Sarango Katia, Romero Juan Jose, Villagomez Angelica. Let's continue. So in this part, I will explain what an essay online is and why it's important. According to the material from the platform, an online help us organize ideas in a logical order before we start writing. It's like a roadmap that guides the development of our arguments and keeps our writing clear and focused. We learned that a basic outline includes 5 steps, but we focus on 3 key ones. Choosing a topic that is relevant and interesting, writing a thesis statement that clearly shows our position about the topic, and planning the structure with an introduction, a body with main points, and a conclusion that wraps everything up. Each part is really important because the thesis guides direction and the body paragraphs provide strong support with facts or example. By using this outline, our essay becomes more organized, persuasive, and easier to understand.
For our essay outline, we follow the 5 steps from the infographic. First, we select a relevant and meaningful topic, which was animal protection laws in Ecuador. We chose this topic because we see that animal abuse and abandonment are very common and visible problems in our country. It's something that we experience in real life, whether by seeing stray dogs on the street, reading news about animal cruelty, or noticing that there's very little action from the authorities. We felt it was important to raise awareness and explore the issue more deeply through writing. After discussing the problem and reviewing some data and real cases, we wrote our thesis statement, which was animal protection laws in Ecuador are ineffective, which results in widespread abandonment, abuse, and lack of justice for animal victims. This thesis expresses a clear point of view and gives us a strong central idea to support in the body paragraphs. According to the class material, a good thesis should be specific, arguable, and should help guide the structure of the essay. And that's what we try to achieve here. We believe this topic matters and that our thesis will allow us to organize our arguments clearly while addressing a real social issue. Thank you.
Once we have the thesis, we develop the structures of the body and conclusions. We planned the 3 main points as suggested by the outline model from the platform. The first paragraph explains how abandonment has become normalized and the reasons behind it. The second discourse extreme abuse and exploitations, and the third analyze the consequence of the lack of strong laws, including the connections between animal cruelty and human violence. Finally, in the conclusions, we restate the need for our urgent legal reforms and educational contents. Um, According to the resource, the conclusions must not introduce new ideas, but reinforce the main message and leave the reader with a final reflections. By organizing or outline these ways, we ensure clarity, progressions of ideas, and strong support for our argument.
Hello, teacher. My name is Juan Romero, and I will start by explaining the topic we chose and how we use an outline to organize our essay. We decided to focus on animal abuse and abandonment in Ecuador because it's a very visible and emotional problem that affects all of us. Every day in almost every city, we see dogs and cats living in the streets. Many of them are sick, injured, or completely neglected. It is something that we have gotten used to, but we shouldn't. And this makes us ask a very important question. If there are laws to protect animals, why this is still happening? That question led us to the main purpose of our essay, to raise awareness about the situation and then explain why Ecuador's animal protection laws are not working. We wanted to approach this issue in a serious and organized way, so we decided to build a strong essay outline following the structure we learned in class. Um, our, our outline follows the traditional format. It starts with an introduction, then we have three body paragraphs, and finally ends with a conclusion. Having this structure will help us to stay focused and make sure all of our ideas are connected to one main idea, which is the failure of current animal protection laws and the consequences this has for animals and society. Each body paragraph out in our outline supports the central idea from a different perspective. The first focuses on abandonment, the second on abuse and exploitation, and the third on legal consequences and lack of justice. This helps us to organize our arguments clearly and avoid repetition. Finally, the outline also helps us to maintain coherence, which means that the ideas follow a logical order. We begin by showing the problem, then move into how serious the abuse is, and end with the impact it has. So, in short, the outline was a key tool in helping us plan and develop a meaningful and well structured essay. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Katia and I will explain the first and second body paragraphs and how they connect to our main idea. The first idea focuses on the reality of animal abandonment. In Ecuador, thousands of animals are abandoned every year, and around 70% were left by their own families. These situations continues because there is no educations, no sterilizations campaigns, and public institutions don't have enough resources to help. This shows a clear lack of responsibility and state support, which connects directly to our thesis. The laws are not working. Then the second idea goes deeper into the case of extreme abuse and exploitations. We're not just talking about abandonment. There are animals being beaten, burning, ever in rapids. There are also illegal farms where animals are bred irresponsibly in horrible conditions just for profit. Theirs are not insulated events, they are signs of a systematic crisis, but of these ideas are part of our bigger pictures. Thanks to the outline, we were able to organize them as a progressions from everyday abandonment to brutal abuse, so the readers understands how serious and urgent the situation is. The outline made sure we did not lose focus and that every paragraph adds new information while staying connect to the thesis.
Hi, I am Angelica and I worked on the third paragraph in the conclusion of our essay. In the third idea, we explain the real consequences of the legal gaps in Ecuador. Many animals suffer extreme pain, trauma, or even death, and nothing happens because some crimes like zoophilia are not classified as public crimes. That means the state doesn't act unless someone pays for everything, for example, medical tests, reports, or lawyers. Most people can afford that, so these crimes go unpunished. This shows that the legal systems protects the aggressor more than the victim, which is unacceptable. We also highlight a serious concern. People who abuse animals are often violent toward people too. Um, So, by not addressing animal abuse, we're ignoring a danger to society. In the conclusion, we reaffirm the need for stronger laws, public education, and state action. We believe that with legal reforms, education campaigns, and sterilization efforts, Ecuador can become a safer place for animals and also a more better society, a more empathetic society. The online help us finish with a clear and powerful messages. Connected all parts of the shape. Everything comes back to the main idea, and that's what makes our work unified and coherent. Thank you.